Well, welcome to the Nerd and You podcast. This is a good friend of mine. His name is Seth. He's more so a friend of my brother's growing up, but uh, we became friends a little bit through family and through church, and we haven't spoken for years at this point. Um, but we're here and we're doing this. Um, so you have a few of your top accomplishments. You run 3 businesses. What businesses are those?
Actually, I think I've run 4 businesses, but my first one, if you don't remember, when I was growing up, I ran lawn care, and I did that all the way into my mid 20s. I think at one point, me and my buddy ran it together, and we had like 150 customers, something like that. Second one was an automotive shop. Ran that for 12 years. That ended in a fire that I lost everything in, and half my left leg was burned off. The
Oh my
skin, not my
gosh.
leg. Um, then I recovered. I worked for other people, started another automotive shop focusing more on just repair. My other one was custom off road shop. Been running that for quite a while, 5, 6 years now. But I also 2.5 years ago started a business called Vendetta Paintball, and it has exploded in the past year. And I've basically stopped doing all mechanic work except for a little bit here and there and finishing projects up. And I've just been focused on that business. And it's been so busy that I've hired 2 people. I've built a second field. We're like constantly expanding, improving the field, trying to make it better, hosting national events. Like it's been it's been crazy. It exploded and came to realization much quicker than I ever thought it would. So they say most businesses take 5 years to get profitable, and I was profitable within about 7 months. So that
That's
was that
crazy.
was a huge accomplishment. So something I've been wanting to do since I was 18. I'm 39, so it's been 20 plus years in the making of wanting to do this. And well, I guess more like 18 years. 'Cause I started a couple years ago, but still, it's been an accomplishment I've wanting to do. Land was always a huge part of it. Finding somewhere to do it was always either expensive or you couldn't find anywhere. So I was blessed enough to move down to Lehigh randomly, and then my uncle, who I used to work for as a teenager, has a farm that he doesn't do anything with, and he was renting the shop to me to do automotive work, and I asked if I could use the field, and he said yes. And so I um, started the paintball field. I started getting bunkers and all the stuff I needed to do it, and just kind of went from there. It was pretty slow at first, but people were excited about it, and a lot of people I knew from, like I said, I've been playing paintball since 1999, so I know a lot of the people in the area. I know all the players, and so people started coming out of the woodwork and coming out and getting excited about it. And it's just that's definitely why this has been such a success, is because to be able to push a business this quickly is usually not very doable, because I also run my business off cash. I didn't take some giant loan out. So I've built everything with cash, and that means I own everything, which means, crap hits the fan, I could technically sell stuff and make money rather than being stuck with a loan payment or whatever. So, but yeah, that's
No,
probably
that's really cool.
my biggest ones. I mean, what else did I put down? Marry the woman of my dreams. That's another big one.
Uh-huh.
Hell,
Just
just
recently, right?
happened just recently. Yeah. Yep. That's been a long road also. 20 years of being with the wrong people and then finally meeting the right girl. Like that was huge. Um, And then I used to run a Baja 1000 dirt bike race team. I ran the pit crew and the chase team and did pre-running with them. Did that for 3 years.
You have a lot of different areas that all kinda tie together, except for the paintball. The paintball is kinda off us on its own. Um, but, man, you have, like, a lot of extreme sports in your blood,
Definitely,
and that's really cool.
definitely.
What was it that got you into paintball in the first place?
Well, if you remember Ryan Williams,
Mhm.
he's one of my best friends growing up in the neighborhood, and I don't remember how we initially heard about it, but I want to say we either saw a magazine in a grocery store or it was when it was on ESPN. We saw it, we're like, that's so cool. And then we looked up the local place, which was Paintball Planet in Sandy. And we just went and played for the first time and we're hooked. And then we used to go play out at Brent Thomas's farm for years. There was a lot of people that played out there with us, but did that. And then I think when I was 17 ish, I got into tournament paintball and I started playing tournament paintball as much as I could locally. It was expensive and I couldn't afford to do it most of the time, but I played as much as I could. And um, years later, I took a break, went on an LDS mission, came back, got married, didn't play for a couple years, then got back into it in like 2008ish. No, not 2008ish. 2000 like 11. I got back into it, and then I've been playing it ever since competitively on a national level. And like I said, I always wanted to open a field. That was a dream of mine. I saw a lot of paintball fields that were just run crappily. They charged too much. They weren't good facilities. And so I kind of saw what could be done better and I went for it.
That's awesome. I don't know if you remember, me and Landon going paintball with you
Yeah,
and
I do.
Ryan a few times. Every time we went, like, it was fun, but I always regretted it because I would come home with bruises, and there was one time I got shot in the crotch. It was
Yeah, those aren't the best.
no, uh, that was a fun one. We were if I remember right, we were playing a game, it was like Save the President, and you had to, like, escort a team member across the field and into a location.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was you or Ryan, but one of you, we were right next to it, and I was just getting the guy trying to push him, "Just go, run." And right as I did that, this one paintball just boom, right into my crotch. I went down, but
Well, and
that
to
was
be
fun.
fair, I mean, back then we were buying paintballs at Walmart and most of them were it was a brand called Empire and the ball was called RPS Marbleizers and they were very thick shelled. So which equates to they hurt way more to get shot with because it takes
Yeah.
more to break the ball. And on top of that, playing at Brent's farm, we didn't own a chronograph. So I have no idea how fast those balls are going. Now at a field, you're not supposed to be shooting over 300 feet per second. It's very probable that at least Ryan was shooting over 300 feet per second. So your experience back then might have been more painful than it should have been because we were kids and didn't have the right equipment. Like back then things weren't as accessible as they are today either. Like a chronograph was like $600, so we weren't going to go buy one, right? And now you can pick one up for $60 and help
That's a
you
big
get things
difference.
done. Huge difference. Yeah, and paintballs are they don't those big thick shelled paintballs don't really exist anymore. Everything's a lot more brittle. In fact, most paint is kind of on the brink of being almost too brittle sometimes, depending on the weather, and so it doesn't quite hit as hard. And then obviously being at a field like mine, we have a controlled environment where everyone's gun is chronographed, so it's not shooting too fast and everything. And I mean, but either way, I've been shot in the crotch like 4 times in my lifetime, and it's never been pleasant any of those. So
I'd
wearing
be
kind of
worried if it
jogger
was
pants
pleasant.
helps. Yeah, well, no shame to anyone, I guess, that's into
Yeah,
that, but you
that's
might want to
true.
reevaluate your life if that's true.
Uh, man, good times. With with owning your own business, how much more accessible is it for someone who would like to get into it? How I guess
A
maybe
lot
not
more
accessible, but
accessible.
affordable.
So we've basically when I created my business model, I made it so that looking at my cost, it's variable but relatively constant. I put the price as low as I possibly could. So when you come to my paintball field, if you're say first time and you want to play, it's $25 to play. And that gets you 200 paintballs and all the gear you need and there's no time limit. You can buy more paint. 500 paintballs is $15, or a case of 2,000 you can split with your friends. That's honestly the best way to go. If you come with some friends, you split a case. cost you like $8 each. You can shoot for quite a while. So we try and make things as reasonable as possible, but still making enough money that I can not just run the business, but grow the business. And I apply that to our pro shop too. So we have a semi trailer I've converted into a shop, and we carry a different products that you can buy, and we put everything as basically as well priced as I could possibly do it. To give a little comparison of how it used to be, say when I was a teenager growing up and we first started playing, Paintball Planet was $100 for a case, and I sell that case for 45. So it's less than half of the cost of what it used to be. The average was probably 75 to 80, most fields, but it was way more expensive. And it was, I don't remember what renting was. I want to say it was 20 to 30 bucks. And they gave you like a sandwich baggie of 100 balls, and that was it. And somehow we made that last all day. I don't know. I shoot more than 100 balls in the first 10 seconds of every game, so I don't know how I made that last that long. But um, yeah, so we try and make it as affordable, and not just that. Like when you come to our facility, it's not some bougie, resort or anything like that. It's a field, but we have tables and chairs. We got shade, and I've played professional level paintball for so long. We have a lot of players there that are really talented. And when you come, we teach you how to play. It's not just go have fun, see ya. We'll teach you the rules. We'll show you how to use your equipment. We'll teach you about how to play as a team. And then I'll go on, or my employees will go on and play with people to try and coach them and help them become better players. Because like any sport, it's more enjoyable when you know what you're doing. And like, for instance, going back to your story, when you guys were playing with us, like we weren't trying to teach you anything. We were just, I mean, we didn't really know what we were doing for one. We were very limited on our skill. Like I look back then and I was like, man, I had no idea how to play paintball. Like I'm a million times better now, but like we were just there to shoot someone. We thought it was awesome, and to win the game. That's all we cared about. And
Yeah.
once you get in the competitive side, you learn there's way more to the sport than that. And then once you get past even that, where I'm at the level where I really want to grow the sport, I want to teach people how to play and be good, whether they're an experienced player or a new player. I want them to have a really good time. I want them to enjoy the sport. I want them to come back and play again, not just in my field, any field. I don't care. Just go play paintball. Like it's a very cathartic and a very therapeutic sport, and a very good outlet for emotions, for frustrations, and just a healthy dose of adrenaline seems to solve a lot of things. And as far as adrenaline pumping activities, paintball is probably the safest. Snowboarding, skateboarding, dirt biking, jet skiing, you name it. Those things usually can end in a really bad wreck if you're not careful. Paintball, you can get hurt, but for the most part, a sprained ankle or something is probably the worst you're going to get, and a bruise.
Yeah. Um, between the first and second marriages,
Hmm.
was there anything for you like it's hard going through a divorce.
Yep.
Was paintball an outlet for you during that time or
Uh, Definitely was, yeah. So I started playing paintball while I was married to my first wife, and that's when I first started playing like on a national level with a divisional team, and it kind of became, it was a hobby I never wanted to get rid of, and I picked it back up, and I was like, I remember why I play this all the time. Like this was really fun. I love it. So I started playing it again, and it was not super time demanding. I was spending, I had practice once a week. We Tournaments weren't super often, every couple months maybe. But it was definitely something that there's just something very raw when you're playing paintball, that like all the stress, the problems, you know, whatever you have going on in your life, it kind of melts away, and you're there and you're in the moment, and you're focused on what you're shooting, where you're moving, your teammates, and it kind of all just melts away for that time. And then that's why I really do believe that it's something that everyone should experience. Not necessarily everyone has to play it, but experience at least once. I always tell our rental kids, I say, look, paintball is going to teach you three things. One, that you have to work together to get further in life. Two, pain is part of life. And three, every decision has consequences, good or bad. And I mean, that's paintball to a T. Like everything you do in paintball has a consequence. A move, a shot, a look, not talking, talking, um, and you're gonna get shot, and it's part of life. Like things hurt sometimes,
Yeah.
and I think the sooner you learn that, especially as a kid, the sooner you can learn that, the better off you're gonna be as you grow up. Because having to learn that kind of lesson when you're an adult, I think, is rough. Like if you've been sheltered your whole life or never had to experience pain or apprehension to things or just making it on your own, you get to be an adult and it's way harder, and then you end up being almost handicapped the rest of your life and trying to learn the things you should have learned 10 years ago. So
Yeah. Um, you were reading my mind through that entire thing. There were little questions that were popping up in my head, and you before I could even get the question out, you just went right into answering it. That was nice. Um, Tell me a little bit more about running the Baja 1000.
um so I've got a really good friend. His name's Sam Hunter. He's actually the grandson of uh President Hunter, if you remember him. Well, before your time. So when I was 8 years old. He was the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and that's his grandson, and his whole family is very successful. One of his sons is Dave. Dave made the Nitro Circus movies. He made a bunch of like the Singles Award kind of like comedy LDS movies. He owns a bunch of companies. He's super wealthy. He has been going to Baja for 30 years, and he has been on a race team. And when they were going down, they needed someone who could work on things and help do, mechanical repairs and pre-run and everything. And so Sam referred him to Dave, referred me to Dave, sorry, and Dave brought me on, and it was amazing because everything was paid for. I got paid $1,000 for a week, and then it didn't cost me anything, and I got to go down with my dirt bike. And out of that week, there was about 3 days that I got to ride with them to pre-run the trails and everything. I had to drive the truck a lot. I drove thousands of miles during the week, but um, I would run the pits. So I would go from stop to stop. I'd be waiting for the rider. They come in, I check the bike, I change the tires, whatever needs to be done, put the fresh rider on, get them off, and then I drive to the next pit stop. And then we had a second team that went from about mile 500 down. But I mean, it was an amazing experience, and it was just kind of random how I came upon it. But they brought me on 2 years later, or 2 more years after that, until they kind of they got sponsored by a company in France called Sherco, and then Sherco was providing their own factory team, so they didn't need anyone anymore. But um, yeah, it was an amazing experience. If you've never been to Baja for the 1000, it's insane. Like there's people everywhere, all hours of the night. It could be 4 in the morning, and people are up with fires, cooking food. There's trophy trucks flying through the pits at 100 miles per hour through the dirt and whoops. Like middle of the night, middle of the day. I mean, the first year I was there, I didn't sleep for like 49 hours or something like that. Um, it
That sounds
was
miserable.
Yeah, I was up and I tried to sleep. Then they called me like someone crashed. And you go get him. So I like went and got him, and then we got back to the house and everyone was up because they had slept all night and I hadn't, so I couldn't go to sleep. And then after the race was over, they're like, "We got to go. We got to head back." And so I was supposed to drive one of the trucks back, and I got all the way to Prim, Nevada, which is the first town across the border to Nevada, and I was roasted, and I was like, I need to sleep. So I stopped at a hotel and slept for about 6 hours and got back on the road. But yeah, it was intense. The other years, it wasn't that bad. I was able to balance things a little more. And um, if you know anything about the Baja 1000, it's actually not ever exactly 1,000 miles. It could be 850. It could be 1,050, and it's never the same route. So it could be actually I have one of the maps up on there my first year, but it could be like a squiggle that goes across the peninsula and then back to Ensenada where it always starts, or it could just be a road all the way down to the tip of the Baja where Cabo San Lucas is. So the last 2 years I did it, it was all the way down to Cabo or close to Cabo, and so it was just 1,000 miles straight. And so I would pre-run, or I would do a chase truck all the way down to about mile 500, mile 550, and then someone else would take off from there, or already be down there to the next pit stop, and then I would just meet them back at the finish line.
Man,
So
that's an
it's
adventure.
insane. It is. If I don't know if everyone can do it, but if you ever get the means and the time, at least go down and just watch the race. Just go down for the weekend, and it's insane. I mean, the motorcycles are fast, but the trophy trucks start 10 hours after the motorcycles, and they usually finish before them. So to give you an idea of how fast they're going in the desert over whoops that are 2 feet deep, and
Jeez.
it's crazy, and it's also dangerous. Someone dies every year. Someone, either a racer or a local. A lot of locals run out into the middle of the road all the time trying to take pictures, and they'll get hit. And
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, it's pretty rare they survive. I mean, you get a 9,000 pound truck slamming into you at 80 miles per hour around a corner, like you're gone.
Yeah.
And but it's yeah, it's just an intense experience, and like everywhere, it's very fueled by the Baja 1000. Like their economy is, so they're all accommodating. They have all kinds of restaurants everywhere and little towns everywhere, and it's just one of those things that like you just have to be there. And the food's amazing. Don't drink the water. In Ensenada, they have Costco and like other places that are like common to America, which is weird. But once you get outside Ensenada, it's just little tiny shops and restaurants everywhere, and there's just single lane roads everywhere you go. No shoulders. Like I'm in a huge truck with boxes on the back and an 18-foot trailer going down these single lane roads that are like the width of my truck. And you're just like trying not to drive off the road or run into someone, especially in the middle of the night. Like it's crazy.
Man, I don't know if I could handle the adrenaline. I might be able to for a little bit, but I think I would end up frying myself pretty quick.
Yeah, well, and everyone rides dirt bikes on the road, and they're race buggies on the road. Like you go from trail to trail using the roads. And so like we'll be on a highway going 80 miles per hour on dirt bikes. And then you cut off onto the next part of the race, and on top of that, you've got the federales, which is the National Guard essentially, and they're at the checkpoints, and they're not really there to do anything other than to look busy. Like they'll pull you over, and they're like, and you're like Baja 1000 pre-race, and they'll usually let you go, but sometimes they want to look at things. So you'll open all the like the doors on the truck, and they just like poke things with a stick, and they're like, yeah, cool, and then you shut the doors, and they like have guns, but there's no ammo in them. Like it's the weirdest thing, but um, and then on top of that, the police are very corrupt. So they'll pull you over for any kind of bullcrap reason they want. And then essentially they're looking for their 20 bucks. So they'll
Oh
tell
yeah.
you they're going to give you a ticket, and they got to bring you into the station, and that it's going to be this much. And so you ask them, it's $80 ticket. And you're like, oh, all I have is $20. Like, oh, cool. And they take it and they smile and laugh and then they go. Like it only happened to me once, but it's happened to lots of guys. Like they just,
Oh
they
man.
want their 20 bucks because they know they see you as an American, and they just think all Americans are rich. And so they don't have any problem taking advantage of that. They're just like, oh yeah, you got money, so you should just give me some money.
That's
So
wild.
it's kind of a strange. I was talking to my employees today about that because we had a group of a bunch of Mexican guys that came and played paintball, and I was working today up until like an hour ago. So um, and I was like, you got to be kind of careful with them because Mexican people, they're very hospitable. They'll help you push your vehicle for a mile. They'll give you gas, whatever. But if they get a chance to like nab something or give you the wrong change at a store because they give it back to you in pesos and not dollars, they'll take their share. Like if you're not like careful and count your money, that's just I don't know what it is. It's just how they operate. I,
Yeah.
I it could just be like maybe in their minds they just don't see anything wrong with that because like I said, you're an American, you have money. Like
Right.
they're like, I'm poor, so I'm going to take some of your money because that's what I want to do. So you kind of have to be careful. Like Baja is not ran by the cartels like the Mexico mainland is.
Hmm.
Like Mexico City is one of the most dangerous places in the world because it's ran by the cartels. But Baja isn't. There's not a cartel presence or anything like that there. But there is just kind of like pitfalls you kind of have to watch out for, and just yeah, it's I'd only been to Mexico on a cruise before I started going down for Baja, which is totally different. You're just in like the
Yeah.
tourist areas. We wander into town, but it's not really the same. And then you go to the Baja race, and it's crazy, you know. And you can haggle with anyone too. That's the funny part. I wish America haggled because you can go to a store and be like, oh, I'll give you this much. Like, no, no, no. Like, I'll give you this much. Like, oh, okay. You know, if it's like a shop or something,
Uh-huh.
um, it's kind of fun. I don't know. We don't really do that in America. We don't, unless it's a garage sale, I guess. You can't like haggle at Macy's
Yep.
for your groceries.
Yeah, it'd be nice to haggle a little bit. I mean, I think the older generations do that a little bit more than,
Yeah,
I guess common businesses nowadays really want to do, but it would be nice to haggle for sure. Squeeze
yeah.
the dollar to go a little bit further.
Well, we need it more than ever today, I guess. Everything's gotten more expensive. Got more expensive in COVID, and then it just didn't go back down. There's
Yeah.
no real reason for it now. It's just companies are. I think they got used to charging what they could, and now cost has gone back down. But they're like, well, we were charging it, so people were paying it. So let's just keep charging that much. And they're like, okay. And
Yep.
so here we are paying a lot of money for stuff that used to be half the price. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Man, the things that happen in the world that drive you crazy. If you wanna just drop, your business names again and share how people can find you, if, you have any
Yeah.
content that you wanna share with them or
The business is Vendetta Paintball. The best way is just find us on Facebook, which is Vendetta Paintball. You'll find it real quick. But our next big thing we're doing is, so 2 months ago we hosted two of the top pro paintball teams at our field for a single match, and we sold tickets to it. It was an amazing event. Everyone that was there, even people that did never play paintball, like my father-in-law was there, said it was awesome and loved it. And we're trying to do another one in California. For Utah people, that's kind of a far drive, I guess, but we're trying to spread the love around. But the idea is that we're going to be giving pros a place to play more and make more money, and more places for people to watch pro paintball, because currently professional paintball is only done 5 times a year at a tournament the last 3 days, which is kind of weird for a pro sport. Um, my ultimate goal within 5 years, or 3 years, sorry, is to have 20 pro matches a year all over the country, East Conference, West Conference, and Middle West Conference, I guess Midwest. Um, so anywhere in the United States you live, you should be able to, within like a probably a 3 or 4 hour drive at the most, be able to go watch a pro paintball event, and just enjoy it. Like, we offer really cool VIP passes where you get to sit between the pits and like be right next to the pros and all their business and what they're doing in the pits, which is kind of nuts if you've never experienced that. And it's a lot of really cool live action. So yeah, just check out Vendetta Paintball. You can Google us; everything comes up pretty quick. And Yeah, we're just trying to bring paintball to the masses and make it fun and affordable for everyone. And um, it's just one aspect of my crazy life. We'll have to, maybe sometime when we got more time, we can do another one where I can tell you about all the rest of the stuff that I've done in the past. Or I've definitely led a very interesting and adrenaline fueled life. I can tell you that.
sounds like it. I'd love to do another episode with you and dig into some more stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, Appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this. You're a busy man running 4 businesses, and really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, thanks, man.
You bet. Until next time, enjoy the nerd in you.